Please welcome our senior speaker for today, Andrew Clark.
You guys are great. Wow. Where's Tyler? Tyler? You did a phenomenal job getting this assembly started. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really impressed. Can someone give him a pat on the back? Come on, yeah, thank you. I mean, his leadership. Look at his tie. It's like he's got a snazzy tie on too. It's just fantastic. Oh, Mr. DeChosa. That was a fantastic introduction. Probably one of the top, 10 introductions I've ever heard. All right, who else? Dr. Thornberry, you have such a contagious laugh. And you guys, I wish I could compliment each one of you individually. I don't have the time to do that, but you can see me if you really want one. Just as a whole, wow. I see a little bit of green too, that's always good. Color of hope. I'm just touched. I'm just touched that you're being such a superb audience so far. And also, we're just extremely lucky to go to a school as excellent as Gilman is, with a headmaster as excellent as Mr. Smythe. All right, I can't keep that up anymore. I was flattering you right then if you couldn't tell. You probably feel pretty good about yourselves. Maybe even a little prideful, but I mean that's natural. That's how compliments are supposed to work. It's kind of like when those guest speakers come and then they compliment us right before we get into his or her speech. So Mr. Smythe, Ms. Turner, students, faculty, family, Mr. DeChosa, Dr. Thornberry, and Tyler, so much of our society depends on compliments. We've been programmed to say things like, I like your shirt, or that's awesome, every day. Even when we sarcastically say, oh, cool story, bro, or we do one of these things, if you think about it, it's still a compliment. Without these filler phrases inserted haphazardly into our everyday lives, there would be so much silence. Just think about how many compliments you hear on a daily basis, just how many well dones or you're so nices are being exchanged. But is this a problem? Sure, they make us feel good, but what do they really mean? And do they become less meaningful if we keep saying them over and over again? Compliments may not even be true. I mean, what about the trophy that your neighbor, little Jimmy, won for participating in an under-12 soccer league? I mean, he didn't win anything. Did he even play well? He played horribly, actually. Nonetheless, he'll still feel pretty good about himself. You know, afterwards, he's got the trophy. No one's going to tell him he played poorly. So logically, we would ask after that, is this right? So I'm going to make a list for you guys that you should keep in mind during my speech. Something that should help this speech resonate with you a little more. There are two parts to my list. Number one, I'm going to make a lot of lists. That's number one. Lists are very helpful ways to memorize things, to keep things on your mind, whether it's a shopping list, a hit list, so expect a lot of The second part of my list is that I'm going to use a lot of props. Visuals are a great way to engage the audience, to keep them interested, and also emphasize a point you want to make. So expect a lot of props, even though I don't think I've seen a senior speech with a lot of props before. But that's okay, this will be the first of many. This takes me to my first set of props. Like Gilman, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology is complimented a lot. There was a 1994 study where MIT students were asked to turn on a light bulb with only a light bulb, a wire, and a battery. This is a battery. So when they were asked this question, all the MIT students said, well, of course I can do it. I'm an MIT student. This is my life. Amazingly, however, the majority of the students could not do it. In fact, some of them even said, oh, this is impossible, I can't do it. Here at one of the greatest science and engineering schools in the entire world, students could not turn on a light bulb. And these kids thought they were real hotshots, experimenting with all sorts of advanced theoretical contraptions in school. But they were stumped by the simplest contraption of them all, the light bulb. Suddenly, their superior confidence was called into question, and when they used to think they were genius engineering prodigies. And then what happened to that? What happened to the compliments they received before that, assuring them of their sharp intellect? Now, just for the record, I'm gonna just do it myself to show you because it's really easy. I can't believe they couldn't do it. I mean, I took AP Physics, so it should be easy. So first, you just attach it here, and then voila, you get the, well, it's supposed to, this is the right-hand rule. I mean, it's supposed, oh, sorry, other way, like this. You don't see, where's Mr. Flint? Do not dispose of in fire, may explode or leak and cause personal injury. I mean, I feel personally injured right now with this battery. Okay, I'll come back to that. It'll probably work later. Anyway, what was I talking about? So this brings me to my next prop. Prop number 4. I used to live among the farms of Hartford County, a bucolic setting where cows roamed free in your backyards and they just like entered your house whenever they wanted to. I had a middle school friend who lived on a farm. I'll call him Jimmy number 1. He thought he was the man. I mean, in middle school, he had this facial expression that just said, like, I'm a farmer, so I know a lot of stuff about crops, so you should probably back off. So while I was at his house with a second friend, I'll call him Jimmy number 2, I made the really, really grave mistake of asking him, hey, Jimmy number 1, what's in that field over there? That's wheat, right? Well, granted, it's not like these crops were fully grown. They were like, I don't know, this size, so you can cut me some slack. But, I mean, I was dead wrong, and Jimmy number 1 felt the need to make me know that. He used this opportunity to flex his agricultural prowess, something that a lot of people have complimented him on. So he taught me the differences between wheat and barley was actually in the field, and I didn't know. But then, my second friend, Jimmy number 2, he made a remark that stunned me. He said, that's not wheat or barley. Jimmy number 1 arrogantly replied, oh really, then what is it then? Jimmy number 2 responded, it's dirt. It's dirt. Dirt is everywhere. I mean, we take dirt for granted a lot, I think. I mean, without dirt, I mean, there'd be no plants. There probably wouldn't be an us. If you really think about it, where do we come from? I mean, not like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. So, I mean, what else is there? There's the ground, right? So where do we come from? The ground. So, Mr. Smythe, Ms. Turner, students, faculty, and family, we are just piles of dirt. How degrading is that? We're piles of dirt. This tells me one really important theme that I want to explain today, and it's that you shouldn't take yourself so seriously. No matter how much you're complimented, you're a pile of dirt. It just can't get any worse. In the the grand scheme of things, I'm sorry, you're just not a big deal. You're not the man. You're just the pile of dirt. And God said in the Bible to Adam and Eve, "For you are dust, and to dust you shall return." This preaches a sort of extreme humility and modesty, I think, that reminds us that we're a part of something greater, a cycle of life and death, that not one piece of dirt can change. It doesn't matter how many girls complimented your snazzy tie. It doesn't matter how well you did in AP Physics. We just don't have any right to be arrogant if we're going to be piles of dirt. So the moral, don't take yourself so seriously. But how does this modest mindset help us? How does it let us not get too full of ourselves so compliments don't get to our head? I think 3 things can happen if we keep this in mind. 1, you can take a step back and be more objective. 2, you can relax, just have fun and be yourself. And 3, you can put yourself in someone else's shoes. You'll realize that everything is possible. Nothing is wrong. We can't do anything wrong as a community. Everything is just different. It can't be wrong. So, the next theme is, it's not wrong, it's different. I have a really good example of that right here. Now, I was really nervous in the fall when I brought her in. Her name is Old Bessie, by the way. I decided to go with her because, she has some health benefits. You don't feel like all hunched over when I'm older, that sort of stuff. But I think I mostly brought her in just to be goofy, do something different. So many people make fun of my backpack, which I perfectly understand if you brought something in like that. She's just egregiously out of place in a high school setting. In fact, one of the maintenance guys, a couple of months ago, he laughed. He was across the parking lot from me. Because she was making so much noise on the asphalt, I guess, so. But by bringing Bessie in, I think I did something more profound than I ever knew. I felt like I was changing our expectations of what it means to have a backpack, what it means to what it means to go to school, what it means to learn. It shows you that you can just add something interesting to a normally boring school day. I didn't really need a compliment for me to bring her in. It's not a big deal. It's just a backpack trying to have some fun. What's the point of doing something the same way over and over again? What's the point? If everyone else does it, then you're just inconsequential. You're a pile of dirt. If you're going to be a pile of dirt, be a creative one. Be a unique pile of dirt. And one thing I've been itching to do, I understand there's a freshman who also uses a rolling backpack. It was a really big moment when I saw him, so I just want to compliment. Is Mr. Hudhud here right now? You want to raise your hand? He's back there. Thank you so much. I appreciate your rolling backpack, and I really encourage you to keep on using it. It's just a lot of fun, I think. It'll keep us away from chiropractors, so later in life. Later in life, we can just laugh at all the people with hunched over backs. Not that it's wrong, it's just different. So. Okay, let me make one final list for you. Just to summarize everything I've talked about today. Remember the following 4 points, and all of your wildest dreams will come true. I guarantee it. You'll be smarter, happier, more attractive, taller, all of the above. So number 1, make lists. Number 2, use prompts. Number 3, don't take yourself so seriously. You're just a pile of dirt. Number 4, it's not wrong, it's different. Relax, be creative, and have fun. I could add on a lot more things like listen to your parents, eat more broccoli, that sort of stuff, but I think you get the idea. So, let me get back to what compliments should mean to us. Just to give you guys a tangible goal so you can take it home with you over spring break and think about it. Next time you're complimented, know that that is not the end. Don't get complacent, don't be arrogant. Understand the big picture and move on to something greater. Don't revel in your own successes for too long. Keep cultivating your imagination because there is always room for improvement. Make us question our expectations of what it means to be a human being, a loving, laughing human being on this planet. Live simple, curious, creative, humble, compassionate lives. So, you don't have to be stuck as a confused MIT student anymore. You don't need to be just a pile of dirt. You can be a unique one. And with your creativity and humility, you'll be able to find your light. Thank you.